Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I am Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me for today is Sal Sagala. Welcome to the show, Sal.
Oh, thank you, Sharon.
We are ready for our Talladega review for the NASCAR Cup Series. Your overall thoughts about this race, Sal?
Yeah, it was really a doozy of a race, I'll tell you that. Just like any other Talladega race, but this one actually was very, very run clean. Never got to see the big one, which was good. I'm sure a lot of the fans weren't happy with it, but I was happy with it because you know what? There was when there was less wrecks, that means there was more racing, and there was
That's right.
a lot of drivers were bouncing back and forth, up and down, and moving around. And it was good to see some of the ones that we've had on the show that we followed go from the top to bottom, and move around.
I'm a champion of racing talent and skill versus wrecking. And I got to tell you, I was happy to see that on full display at Talladega Superspeedway this weekend. I think that's what we saw, is that these drivers were using their skill to race that track. And you can tell how far a lot of these drivers have come in racing at Talladega Superspeedway. And I tell you, it's breathtaking. If you ever go to a race and you watch these guys drive within inches of one another, going close to 200 miles an hour, it is breathtaking to see it in action. And the fact that they did it without wrecking each other, for the most part, I think was absolutely fantastic.
Well, once you get to start talking about, the race and all, but the race winner, was, gosh, really excited. It was good to see him get the win. It was good to see, some of our top 10 drivers, like I said, some that we haven't seen up there, some that we probably won't ever see again up there.
Well, I will say this. On Thursday, when we did our preview shows, I did say I wanted a Ford to win at Talladega this weekend. Chevy, it's not typically a Chevy track, but it was Ford that prevailed at the end. But what was interesting, Sal, is you had two Fords being pushed by Chevrolet drivers.
Yeah, and then you had I think this might be the first time all season that the 400 cars all finished in the top 10.
Yes, that was fantastic as well. Okay, Ostrich Cindric was the winner of a wild Talladega race with the last lap pass, and that is always exciting. Austin Cindric's dramatic last lap pass provided exactly the sort of Talladega Superspeedway thrill that NASCAR fans have come to expect at the sport's biggest track. It earned the 22 Daytona 500 winner, Austin Cindric, and Team Penske their first trophy for the 2025 Cup Series season. We've been wondering when the Fords were going to rise to the top, and they did it this weekend. Cindric's number 2 team, Penske Ford, pulled ahead of Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing's driver Ryan Preece, the number 60 Ford, by the length of a front hood to claim a 0.022 thousandths of a second victory in Sunday's Jack Links 500. The two Ford Mustangs exchanged the lead 5 times in the final 6 laps and ultimately finished side by side, holding off a pair of hard-charging Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet teammates just behind in Kyle Larson and William Byron. I will say, I do want to note, I thought it was poor judgment to go to a commercial break with 6 laps remaining. That's where we saw these guys going back and forth over those last 6 laps, and we didn't get to see part of it because of the commercial break. Anyway, Austin Cindric won the Jack Links 500 at Talladega. The win was his first win this year and the first at Talladega, his third in his career. He also won, we mentioned, the Daytona 500 in 22. And last year, he won at Worldwide Technology Raceway down in St. Louis. Ryan Preece finished second, but that changes because there were a couple of disqualifications. It was really Kyle Larson coming in second place, followed by William Byron. Joey Logano is listed as being in fourth place, but he too had a disqualification, moving Noah Gragson into that spot. Chase Elliott, Carson Hocevar, Alex Bowman, and Bubba Wallace were the original top 10 finishers. Cindric led just 7 laps, but ran up front during the end of the race and was able to get ahead of Preece on the final lap to get that victory. The pole sitter, Zane Smith, finished in 21st place. The fastest lap bonus was earned by the number 71 of Michael McDowell. Stage 1 was run by Kyle Larson. Stage 2 by Bubba Wallace. There were 67 lead changes among 23 drivers and just 4 cautions for 22 yellow flag laps. I read a stat. That's the 4th consecutive race at Talladega that's had just 4 cautions in the race. The average speed of the race was 157.203 miles per hour, and the highest finishing rookie was Riley Herbst in 24th for that highest rookie award. So your thoughts here about our top 10 finishers, Sal?
Yeah, it was like I said, it was a good race. You know what? We got to see a lot of racing. You know, a lot of movement. Got to see Riley Herbst run up, up on top, up front for a little bit, and Cole Custer was up there, basically, when you look at the top 10, Austin Dillon actually was a 10th place finisher. We haven't seen Austin Dillon in top 10, and gosh, I don't even remember when the last time it was. Probably when the Gen 3 cars were out.
Yeah,
And
when
then,
those were the 2 drivers, Daniel Suarez and Austin Dillon finished 9th and 10th with the adjusted driver lineup.
Yeah, because of the DQs.
Yes.
But congratulations to Austin Cindric on the win. He really earned it. Kyle Larson was coming on strong at the end. I thought maybe Kyle might have had a chance, and even to the point where Ty Gibbs, towards the end of the race, Ty Gibbs was right up front, and I thought maybe Ty was going to actually get his first win, but dropped down. Yeah, dropped down to 18th. The same thing with Zane Smith was running up there, and I'm sure Danny Hamlin isn't too happy with Ross Chastain. I don't know, those two, they get together, but Hamlin was finished. He still finished on the lead lap, but finished 21st. But like I said, you got the four cars of the Hendrick Motorsports, they all had top 10 finishes. So it was a good weekend for Hendrick Motorsports. And then I forgot Noah Gragson finishing 4th, his highest finish, I think, ever in a Cup car.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, we'll see what happens when they get to the regular tracks. If we're gonna still see the same. The same. Yeah, Kyle Busch, gosh, was having a good run, and then he had that pit road penalty, speeding coming off of pit road, and just couldn't ever recover from it.
I heard a story today, Sal, that after Daytona, Cindric was so disappointed that he couldn't win the race that he called Kyle Larson. And so Kyle Larson gave him some of his tips for racing on super speedways. And I thought it was ironic that Kyle Larson was the guy behind Austin Cindric to push him to that victory. So that was a good move, I think, for Austin Cindric to reach out to somebody and ask for some advice.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, anytime these drivers ask anybody for advice, it's going to be huge for them. Carson Hocevar should think about doing the same thing. Reaching out to some of these drivers and ask him, what can I do to? First of all, he's got to. I
think they've reached out to him on several occasions.
I think they all deleted his phone number, and they don't even want to hear from him. Period. Well, so he's on his own. But Michael McDowell was up there for a while. I thought, he always has a good chance at at a speedway win,
Yes.
McDowell, and he just, couldn't get up there. And, I feel bad for Brad Keselowski.
Oh, I know.
He just every week it's something different.
Yeah, it's like Jeb Burton in the Xfinity series. You got to
Yeah,
feel
every
bad
week.
for him. He puts his heart and soul into it and lost it by a fraction of an inch. But anyway, what I wanted to say is that if it wasn't for bad luck, Ryan Blaney would have no luck at all.
Yeah.
Ryan Preece and Joey Logano are listed in 38th and 39th because of just the disqualification. But Ryan Blaney is 37th. He had that accident on lap 42 that took both him and Brad Keselowski out of the race. And they both kind of fall in that category. If it wasn't for bad luck, they both would have no luck at all. They've just had a rough start to the season.
Yeah.
And we'll probably talk a little bit about that on Hot Topics tonight. The entrance to pit road at Talladega has some risk associated with it, and we'll talk about that. Christopher Bell had an accident that took him out of the race along with Chris Buescher on lap 51. BJ McLeod out on lap 71 due to overheating of his car. There were 188 laps in this race. 8 drivers completing all 188 laps. And there were 32 drivers who finished the race. So between those 6 drivers finished a lap or more down during the course of the race. So some interesting stats there for the good guys that finished up in the top 10 and the other good guys that just had a rough day.
Yeah. I mean, it was rough. It could have been worse. Like I said, we could have seen that accident. Let's go all the way up into the 20th.
Yeah, we didn't
21st.
have a big one at all. So
yeah, so it was just really 1, 2, 3, 4 accidents is all we had.
Yeah, and I want to just give them a standing applause. I'll clap my hands for that kind of a race at Talladega Superspeedway. I think all the drivers did a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, they did.
And our points report, Sal?
And our points report should probably be the same. William Byron leading the points with one race win. Second is Kyle Larson with 2 race wins. Denny Hamlin with 2 race wins. Fourth is Chase Elliott with 0 race wins. Fifth is Christopher Bell, three race wins. Sixth is Tyler Reddick with 0 race wins. Bubba Wallace with 0 race wins. Ryan Blaney still in 8th place, still 0 race wins. 9th is Alex Bowman. 10th is Ross Chastain. 11th is Joey Logano. 12th is Chase Briscoe. 13th is Chris Buescher. 14th is Austin Cindric with his 1 race win. 15th is AJ Allmendinger, and rounding out the top 16 is Kyle Busch.
Actually, Kyle goes below the line because Josh Berry has a win.
Yeah, because Josh Berry has a win. So Kyle is still 1 point ahead of Ricky Stenhouse.
Yeah, that 1 point makes a huge difference.
Oh, yeah. And that points probably might kill Ryan Preece from getting in, too, with that disqualification, all the points he lost.
Yes, him and Joey Logano. Joey Logano's had a rough season. It's the worst, one of the worst starts for a defending champion coming into the next season. He's just can't seem to get it going.
So they got the DQ, and they haven't even gotten the to see if NASCAR's going to dock any more points from them for the illegal parts.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. They usually announce those on Tuesday or Wednesday. So we'll check and see if anything happens as a result of that.
Yeah, see if any more is going to be brought down on
We've got a race here for playoff points, Sal, between Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson. They're just 1 point difference.
Yeah, they has Kyle has 5 stage wins and Christopher Bell has 1 stage win, but he's been trying to get up there and grab as many stage points as possible.
Yeah, well, and the Christopher Bell has the 3 race wins compared to Kyle Larson's 2.
Yeah.
So that made a huge difference as well. But I think going after race wins and stage points or stage wins means a lot as far as playoff points is concerned.
Oh
And
yes, it'll start to show as the season progresses and we get closer to the end of the season. You might see a lot more drivers start to take more chances at grabbing those stage points.
yes, absolutely, it's really incredible. Um, So, anything more that you want to say about that Cup Series race at
No, that's
Talladega?
real. That's really about it. I mean, like I said, it was a good race. It was run without the big one, without too many cautions. Which gave the fans more racing to see, and gave the drivers more opportunity, to try to win this thing. You can only have one winner.
That's true. There's only one winner in a race,
That's
but
it.
I thought they did a fantastic job. You do want to watch for more coming here at Fan for Racing Radio tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 7 o'clock Pacific time. We are going to have our live stream for Hot Topic Sound Off, and Jay and I will be talking about the hottest topics in NASCAR right now. And we'll talk about the disqualifications. We'll talk about a lot of things. What are your thoughts about the DQs? Do you think NASCAR is going to give them more penalties there?
I don't know. I think with them coming out and what they did, it's gonna be it.
Okay.
It's hard
Well,
to
they did
say.
lose a bunch of points.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they did. Yeah, just by putting them down there. But like I said, there's still parts that were involved. And
Yes.
so I mean, it's let's see what happens if they just leave it at this and don't ask for anything more.
Okay. Well, thank you for watching today. We do appreciate everybody taking the time to tune in. And we hope you'll tune in also for our Hot Topic Sound Off later on tonight. That is a live stream. We encourage you to participate by making comments in the live chat feature that's available during the live stream. And tell us what your hot topics are. You never know. We may pick up one of your hot topics and mention it. What do you think is the hottest topic, Sal?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I think it's got to be all the DQs now that we're starting to see.
Yep.
I think it's NASCAR is finally taking a harder stance, on what they're going to allow and what they're not going to
Mhm.
allow. So I think the hottest topic right now is that having 3 DQs in 2 weeks.
Yep,
We we
that's a
we
lot.
we used to see, you know, one DQ maybe in 10 years there'd be a DQ.
Yep.
They just weren't there was no such thing as a DQ. It was in the rule book, but they never used it. Now they're using it. So I think
I
now it's
like
gonna
it.
I think now it's gonna open up the eyes, to the crew chiefs of the teams, hey, you know what? Um, we tested the waters early in the season. Now as we get towards the middle and the end of the season, when the points are really going to matter a lot, even though they mattered throughout the whole season, but they're really going to matter a lot. This is when, we're really going to have to start clamping down on our programs, and paying attention to what we're doing with these cars and not try to find the gray areas anymore because somehow, some way they're finding the NASCARs seem like they're one step ahead.
Well, you're right. NASCAR, this is the time for NASCAR to really buckle down and crack down on these cars that are illegal. I've always said I do not want to celebrate a champion who has cheated throughout the season. So, and to me, that is cheating, whether it was inadvertent or not. You got to do your due diligence as a team in NASCAR's Premier Series. So that's your job. So you got to do it. And if you want to be a champion, you can't be doing things that are going to jeopardize your chances and jeopardize. You don't want a black cloud over your head to win a championship. So, and I just feel that way about it, and I applaud NASCAR for cracking down. But again, thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you later on. And Sal, thank you for being here today. Are you looking forward to the upcoming weekend?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the upcoming weekend. I don't even know what I have planned yet. I'm taking it one day at a time.
Okay, well, I know you said you were a little bit under the weather here tonight. I hope you
Yeah.
do feel better. I appreciate you being here for the show. And we'll look forward to chatting with you again next Monday night.
All right, everybody have a safe weekend. Have fun, and we'll talk to everybody next week.
Okay, take care, everybody.